Hi, I'm Dustin Berg with Pro AV School. In this video, I'm going to show you a quick tutorial of some basic concepts for using smart graphics with Crestron touch panels and Crestron processors. So what I'm setting up here, I'll start I guess with the VTP project. So I've already kind of started this off with the TSW 750. I've added a background. Crestron has some background packs that you can download, so I've just picked one of those with the appropriate size for this panel. I've made two subpages, so first thing I need to do is associate them to this page. So I just drag them and drop them. Then I have to give them a join number, and I think I'll just do automatically assign for blinds, automatically assign for lights. You see how these are green? I can click there and make them not visible so they're not on the page there. And basically what these two pages are, very basic transparent pages with two buttons. I didn't even give them joins because I don't need the joins on the pages for this example. And I'm going to show you how to use an icon list. Let's see. So I'm going to use icon list vertical. Now the difference between an icon list and a dynamic icon list is basically, I'll just show both of them here. They look the same. With the dynamic one, you can populate the number of items and the graphic for each, and also text from your Crestron SIMPL program. With the non-dynamic list, you just have whatever you've pre-assigned in VTP. So if you are going to use a dynamic list, one of the things you need to know is you have to use the parameters that you're going to interact with. So set number of items. If I want to specify how many items I want there, I have to click that, but I also need to have number of icons. I can't do more than the list here. So if I wanted to do 5 and I have set number of icons, this would need to be at least 5, just as an example. But this is just going to be my basic one here. I'm going to give it an actual object name. I'll go call it left menu. This is where it will come up in SIMPL. And you need to give it a smart object ID. You can just automatically assign a free one. And the list items, I only want 2 of them. And it's just going to be lights and blinds. So image, use, style, state. There's probably something for lights. And this one here, it's probably called shades. And those colors are part of the theme. You can't change them unless you change the theme. So unfortunately they come out as the same color, but that's okay for what we're doing. You can adjust some of the other parameters like spacing, like make them a little bit closer together. Margin, if I wanted to make the space around them a bit bigger. In this case, I can probably do something like that. I can give them a label too. Sometimes with smart graphics, as you manipulate them, they resize themselves. I kind of want them bigger, so I think I'm going to change my margin down to 0. And that should do what I wanted. Now, to import this into the project, I'm going to need to save it. First, I'll need to mark this page as first. Need to save it. Right-click, compile project. If I didn't mark that page as first, it would have asked me to do that anyway. So that's compiled. Then I head over to SIMPL here, and I don't have much going. I just basically added one touch panel to this project. And this is going to be the most basic logic that we're going to do. We're just going to use an interlock, essentially. But first we need to import our smart graphics. So I've got the panel here, right click, manage smart graphics extensions, and browse for VTP. Basically you look for your VTP file, and it's already compiled, but you're just looking for the VTP, and it'll say the pending action is it's going to add this reference, commit the changes. Then if you expand this, left menu, that's what we called it. If I look back here, left menu. And it has presses for the two items. I'll just put them side by side here, that might be a little easier to see. It gives me basically, item 1 pressed, item 2 pressed. It tells me the analog of which item is clicked, and if I want one of these to be highlighted, I need to feed it an analog back. This is that set number of items. We're not using that for this object, so you can ignore that basically. So with this, basically I'm just going to add an interlock in my logic, speed key iLock, or you can find it under memory interlock, so that would be same as doing that. And I'll press tab to give it a name, call it menu select. Press Alt Y to close that one side. And this one I'll call it press, I think it was lights. Lights, yeah. Press lights. Press blinds. So I can put these on the left side. This side I can press F6 to copy them over. Then Alt 6, change the name to underscore feedback. So basically the way this works, if you press lights, this will get held, and when you press blinds, this gets held. Kind of like an old school radio tuner in an AM/FM radio in a car. They're basically interlocked. We want to show the feedback as well, so I'm going to put an analog equate. Analog equate. This basically generates an analog value based on the digital signal. So I'm going to put these on, actually sorry, I want an analog initialize. Equate goes the other way. It will take a analog value and give you different digital values. Initialize takes digital values and gives you an analog, which is what we want. So based on the selected value, I could say 1 or 2. Menu feedback, and it's red, so that's an analog, and I'll put that to the select item. So now whenever you press these, you'll get the pop-up. Actually, sorry, you won't get the pop-up because we need to fill that in too. My bad. I actually gave the two pages here join references of 6 and 7. 6 being lights and 7 being blinds. So I want my feedback, the interlocked version. Otherwise it's only going to stay shown when the button's pressed. So 6 and 7 will be those two. I'll compile this project. And then usually it will upload on its own, or it'll give you a dialog. I just have that turned off. Transfer program. Here. That's loaded there. So from VT Pro here, I'm going to do run project as. My address is my own local processor, IP ID 03. And I had run it before. So this is basically showing, I didn't connect these buttons to anything, but you're flipping the page, or the subpage, based on which one you selected. Now one thing that doesn't seem to be working is the highlighted item. If you look very closely, it actually is showing with a slightly white border. I'm going to fix that because it's a little hard to see. So right now, shadow outline. Let's make it a more obvious color just for this demo. I'll make it red. I'm going to make an outline at thickness of 2. And I'll run it again. This should be easier to see the selected feedback on the left. Here you can see it highlights the label too. And that's the basic, very basic example of using smart graphics, importing it into a project, using it to drive subpage logic. It can get a lot more advanced from there. If you want to see a project built from scratch and kind of follow with me as I do one, be sure to check out the Crestron Basics Bootcamp. It's a paid course that I offer that I basically go through step by step creating a project. You can find more out about it at proavschool.com/bootcamp. Thanks.